it almost seems like Nike is backing a certain horse in this race, and as such, Nike is putting most of their resources in a person, you know, to the detriment maybe to say Elaine Thompson.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Your favorite analysts are here to provide their feedback on the latest happening in the world of sports. Now, analyst Stephen Francis, the coach of MVP, has confirmed that he is considering an opportunity to condition a top international female sprinter at the request of Nike. But before we get into the details, we see that you've been watching and liking our videos. We also want you to be part of the Sports DTM family by clicking that subscription button. If that button is still red, it simply means subscribe yet. So where you wait for, just click the button and welcome to the Sports DTM family. Analyst Stephen Francis is considering an opportunity to condition an international track athlete, female sprinter. And this is nothing new for MVP because they've always been conditioning both local and international track star. But in this case, it is a request from Nike for Francis to condition one of their top female sprinters. Whilst Francis is saying that this is nothing new and the Nike has the right to demand or request of him to condition whoever athlete they want him to condition, because he's both a Nike-sponsored coach as well as a top coach in the field. So, analyst, talk to me. What's your take on this? Adrian, what's your take on this request?
With MVP track and field coach Stephen Francis indicating that he is considering an opportunity to condition a top international female sprinter at the request of American sports goods manufacturer Nike, we take a look at some of the athletes who are sponsored by Nike who could potentially be coming to train with Francis. Athletes such as Christine Mboma from Namibia come to mind. The teenage sprint star has signed with Nike and could possibly leave, but that may not come to fruition, as she has been running personal best times and doing very well, and may be too much of a big jump for her at this time. Then there is the other African, the Ivorian, Marie-José Talou, who has consistently ran well on the circuit. But she, of course, is 32, going on to 33 years old, and may not be the best time for her to move at this stage for Francis to work with her. Then there's the Swiss Mujinga Kambunji, who has ran personal best times this season and looks really good, but that may be too much of a radical switch for her. There's the British Dina Asher Smith, who is highly rated, has Jamaican parentage, but it's unlikely that she will separate from her coach John Blackie, who they have been together and he has worked with her since she was 8 years old, bringing her to the levels of a world champion in 2019 in Doha in the 200 meters. That leaves just a few more athletes to consider. There is the less fancied of the British pair, Daryl Nita. She has been running some really good personal best performances, especially at the end of the season, and may be a good fit since it is reported that her training base is in Florida, close by to Jamaica. We keep an eye on that one. And of course, though Francis has indicated international female sprinter, he has said that if there's a Jamaican Nike athlete who is available, he would also consider it. So, is the Jamaican Brianna Williams in line to train with MVP. Of course, we know that she has ran personal best times this year, but there are some who feel that she could have progressed a lot further had she had a good, dedicated coach who paid her a little more attention. And then the big one is the up and coming star Sha'Carri Richardson, who Nike has been marketing heavily following her exploits at the US Olympic trials, although she had an adverse finding due to a marijuana violation. Of course, Sha'Carri is currently coached by Dennis Mitchell, but she has a lot of potential, very fast, but it appears needs a lot of guidance as her off-field antics has gotten more spotlight than her on-field exploits. She has been doing more talking than running, and it may be felt that if they could get somebody to get her focused, she could unlock her talent and really help to lift the Nike brand.
Raymond, what's your take on this news, and who do you speculate that athlete to be?
Yeah, so this news doesn't really surprise me at all. I mean, there's a coaching camp, and it makes sense that you coach the best talent that's out there. It cuts across all borders and countries in a sense. And so I'm not surprised to hear the possibility, that Sha'Carri Richardson could be heading to the MVP on instructions by Nike. I'm not surprised, and it makes sense. Stephen Francis is a genius. He has coached so many to world record times and pretty much world beaters. So I'm not surprised in any stretch of the imagination. However, it almost seems like Nike is backing a certain horse in this race, and as such, Nike is putting most of their resources in a person, to the detriment maybe to say Elaine Thompson, and so Elaine Thompson-Herah has a decision to make, and so the claim that it was rumor that she would be leaving sponsor Nike and as well as the camp, that's a decision that she has to make within her rights, because if a resource company such as Nike decide to back another athlete more than hers, especially in the heights of her career, then it speaks that the interest is not as great. And I'm sure Nike has probably given it some serious thought to say, okay, Sha'Carri could be the future. But what about now? Elaine is on top of the world. What about now? And as such, Elaine has a choice to make. And so if she moves on, I will not be surprised either. And it's expected. And it is expected because Nike has already backed Sha'Carri Richardson. Elaine has no commercial of return and dominating the sprints. There's no commercial for her, but there's a commercial for Sha'Carri Richardson. So these things are clear to me where Nike is putting their resources, and I'm not surprised. No, there's no problem with Stephen Francis coaching a Sha'Carri Richardson. It's a camp, so persons just need to understand this, and because Stephen Francis coaches Great Britain athletes, and Alvarez and Glenn Mills does the same thing too. So it is what it is. But athletes are winning their rights to step away to another camp where they feel they will get the attention as well as a lucrative sponsorship deal. So, Elaine, we understand whatever decision you make is probably best in your interest, because you alone have your interest at that and have understandings of business. So, yeah.
Ricky, what's your take on this news?
We can look at this in so many ways. Is it that Nike does not believe in the competence of the coaches in the USA? Is it that Nike is promoting brand Jamaica and sending another statement that the best coaches in the world come from Jamaica? Nike is willing to invest so much in a single athlete, and they want that athlete to be trained, to be molded by coach Stephen Francis from Camp MVP. That is sending a strong statement to me that Nike believes in brand Jamaica, and they are willing and they have been investing heavily in brand Jamaica. And so we might look at it that competition is coming, but I look at it a different way. We have some of the best coaches producing the best talent in the world that have come and that are still here. And so Nike is acknowledging this, taking their athlete from out of their comfort zone and sending them to somewhere the climate is totally different. I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen. Who will it be? I mean, we can guess that it is Sha'Carri, who we see Nike putting all their endorsements in the past few months. But it could be anybody. It could be anybody. And Nike wants that person to leave their comfort zone and come to Jamaica to train in Camp MVP. I'm looking forward to seeing who it will be. I'm looking forward to seeing the approach. I'm looking forward to see how they will improve when they eventually come under Camp MVP and by extension Coach Stephen Francis.
There you have it, Sports DTM fans, another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Stephen Francis has confirmed that Nike has approached him to condition a top international female sprinter. Fans out there, we would love to hear from you by you leaving your comments in the comment section below. Who do you think that athlete is? Leave that name in the comment section below, and always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. And to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.